welcome to Poms with the Crafty Bird. In this episode, or whatever, we're just going to talk about the differences between handmade and sort of mass produced faux fur pom-poms, and also a little bit about pom-pom care. So firstly, I just want to preface this with saying this is just my opinion. These are some over here pom-poms I bought a year or so ago in mass, so they were like £12 for 10 or something like that, so they're very cheap, and personally I think that sort of shows. So I think they're just a little bit naff. If this is what you can afford and this is all that you're after, and you don't need anything that's, you know, particularly exciting or fancy or whatever, no judgment. If this is what you want to buy, absolutely fine. I just want to offer an alternative. If you've got the cash and the time and the whatever to have a look. So, you know, in no way am I saying that you shouldn't buy these, but in my opinion, I feel like handmade ones are better. Not saying that you have to buy them from me, just from someone. There are quite a few of us out there who are making pom-poms, so feel free to take your customer if you like. The other thing is, I can always guarantee that mine are faux fur. Sometimes the ones you buy online might not be. These ones are, and you can tell. But yeah, I think these ones are sadly a little bit sad, a little bit misshapen. Even if you sort of give them a nice shake, they still look a bit weird. Maybe it's how they've been sent over, packaged or whatever, I don't know. The other thing is that on these ones they tend to have this little elastic loop, which is how you attach them to hats, and I've tried this and they're just not very secure. So if you are going to buy these, I would suggest sewing your own strings on, because I think that will make it a little bit more secure to get onto your hats, so in my opinion anyway. So I'll just show you the difference between, so this is a white one that I bought in this mass lot, and this is my plain white one. So mine tend to be bigger. The standard sizing for these are 9 centimeters for the middle. So they're all the same size. They're all 9 centimeters, and then it's just the pile that will determine how actually big they turn out. So I do them all from the same template. This one is obviously quite a bit smaller, so you're not getting quite as big one, and the pile isn't quite as long either. So the pile is like you would get on a carpet, it's how long the actual fibres are, and you can see this one's not particularly long fibres. There are some longer ones up here, but they sort of, because it's not quite as dense and fluffy, it doesn't tend to be as good. I find when you're looking at a handmade one, because we as a whole make them ourselves, we take great care in the faux fur that we buy and that we source, so that we make sure that one, it's obviously actual faux fur, not real, and that we're actually buying nice, silky, smooth, fluffy fur. I actually took quite a while to find a nice white faux fur that I actually liked. Some of them just felt a bit synthetic and sort of plasticky, which I didn't like at all. So this is a nice one that I finally found that I like, which is my plain white one. You'll also, if you've ever seen my pom-poms, know that I do another white one. Now this is a super fluffy one. This, in fact, if you look, is the same size when you break it down as this one. You can see with my fingers. But this is a much longer faux fur, so the pile is very long, and the actual faux fur itself is a lot more dense, so it ends up just being fluffier and looking bigger. So if you are buying a super fluffy pom-pom and a non-super fluffy pom-pom, they are going to look very different in size, just for your information. Now, don't think I'm trying to defraud you out of pom-poms or size. I make them all the same size template. It just so happens that when they're fluffier, they will come out bigger, and there's not a huge amount I can do about that, because I do like to try and make everything in a standard size. So there you go. That's why your handmade ones might differ slightly in size. With handmade ones, I feel like you can also get just a few different colours. So we have a bit more choice in what we buy, so we can pick, as I love to do, our colours that we buy. So I can pick, for example, this one is my pastel rainbow. You can see it's got lots of different colours in, but the actual faux fur, there's also a bit of orange and a bit of yellow, so it just depends on how you cut it as to what colours you will get in that particular pom-pom, which is great fun. And this is like another slightly different style. So this is quite a short pile, if you compare, like these. This is quite a short pile, but it's so dense that it actually makes it really fluffy and really big. And so when you sort of push your hands into it, oh, nice and soft, give it a little fluff to bring it back. Speaking of giving things a little fluff, pom-pom care. So let's look at this one. So this is my nice firework pom-pom. This I find doesn't photograph very well. So if you ever look at it online, it always looks a bit of an odd one because the red doesn't photograph very well, but looks like a campfire to me. So when you are looking after your pom-poms, please, please, please do not wash them. They do not go well in the wash, definitely not in the tumble dryer. Any heat that you apply to them will just melt it because it's synthetic material. So please don't do that. The only thing you can get away with is a hairdryer. So if you find that it's not particularly fluffy or it's got a little bit damp, for example, if you've had it out in the rain or the snow, if you give it a bit of a blow dry, not too hot a heat, it will fluff up nicely again. So please just spot clean it only, don't wash it. If you want to wash your hat, I would suggest attaching it with a press stud so that you can take it off. Especially if it's a children's hat, because obviously, as we know, kids do tend to get a little bit messy. So yeah, make sure that you are putting your pom-poms onto your hat with a press stud if you're going to wash them. If not, just sew them on with the strings like that. Nice and easy. Press stud like this one. There we go. So yeah, so just make sure you keep your pom-poms nicely. They're not going to last forever, but they will last for a few years if you take care of them well. If you have a pom-pom on a keyring, I'd say that's got a much shorter shelf life because you're probably putting it in and out of everything, you're touching it, you're getting oil from your hands on it. So I mean, I have one of my keyrings because I don't want to lose my keys, but I replace it fairly often because they don't last hugely well when you are being quite rough and ready with them. It's not a hard wearing material, faux fur. So yeah, that's my little pom-pom tips for the day. The differences between handmade and sort of mass produced and bulk buying, and a few tips on how to care for your pom-pom. Thank you very much.